I'm Shirakawa from Ohe. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for being here. Last time we interviewed one of your remote workers, Ms. Otake. I'd like to hear a bit more about that.
At Ohe, I believe it was the year before last when we started recruiting remote staff. Currently, most of them are in the Kanto region, and we now have 4 people working as remote staff for our company. As for why we started, well, it's true for all of Hokkaido, but the population is declining across Japan. With it being so hard to find people, we really wanted talented individuals. So we opened up applications nationwide. Administrative work that can be done remotely has, since the pandemic, seen a significant increase in adoption. Tools like Zoom and Google Meet have become quite commonplace now. Even interviews for our drivers are now conducted almost 100% online, often through virtual platforms.
What kind of tasks are the remote staff currently handling?
Things like administrative work, various types of research, and document preparation. Like Ms. Otake, who appeared before, some are active in public relations. For interviews, I can't mention any specific names, but we do have someone who is working as a professional interviewer. I try to sit in on the Zoom interviews as much as possible. But even without me, they are able to ask all the right questions.
Oh, so they're the ones handling the initial interviews at this stage, right?
That's right. It's been about 2.5 years since we started recruiting. And for those remote administrative positions over a 2-year period, we had, about 3,200 applicants. After successfully clearing a series of tough, challenging assignments and rigorous screenings, we now have a total of 4 dedicated people working with us as part of our team. The main reason we are able to get so many talented people is that we have the ability to recruit from all across the nation, reaching out to potential candidates nationwide. We provide a flexible and supportive work environment where everyone, regardless of their location, can work comfortably from home. Yes. And for the, child-rearing generation, even while raising children, some have very young and energetic children and work late at night, often after putting them to bed. That's one way it works. People really appreciate the flexibility this job offers. The biggest advantage is being able to secure top-tier talent.
Wow, so all 4 of them are highly skilled.
Yes, indeed. They all have very different backgrounds and ways of thinking, but, everyone involved with us shares my values and the company's vision, and they're very engaged. They're involved, and in terms of how we work together, we use tools like Chatwork, which is a pretty widely used tool, isn't it? We mainly communicate and collaborate using tools like Chatwork, Trello, and Notion to help manage and organize our work. However, for those who have never used these tools before, actually, that might be everyone here now that I think about it. We have solid, detailed manuals to help them learn quickly and efficiently, and everyone tends to pick it up fast.
So, what kind of companies, for example, would you recommend should hire remote workers?
Well, I would say that the more rural or sparsely populated an area is, the more they tend to struggle with hiring. So companies in those particular locations, organizations should really create supportive environments for their remote staff members. This approach lets them recruit talent from across the nation and helps them find highly skilled and talented people.
But isn't it hard to just start doing that, especially without any prior know-how?
True. We actually learned the necessary know-how from a consultant ourselves, and it's definitely difficult to implement without that expertise.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a pretty high barrier to entry.
Right. But even when you consider the overall costs and expenses of paying for and investing in that kind of consulting, if it means you can attract and hire talented and skilled people, I don't think it's expensive at all.
Isn't it difficult to manage remote workers?
Since the pandemic, remote work has grown at a rapid pace in recent years, but you often hear about people slacking off. Some people think that as long as they finish their tasks, they can sleep until noon, and those people do exist in some workplaces. However, the system we use is called hourly-based pay, which means that the actual time you spend working is recorded very precisely, often down to the minute. This system ensures that you are paid according to the exact number of hours you work, not just for completing your task quickly. So, even if you finish your assignments early, you are still expected to be present and working for the full duration of your scheduled hours. This approach helps maintain fairness and accuracy in how everyone is compensated for their time and effort. And that determines the monthly pay. If they don't work, they earn less. If they do, they earn more.
And there's a process to check that, right?
Yes, but it's simple. It doesn't really take much effort at all. Currently, we have remote workers checking other remote workers' logs.
While remote workers are busy working online, isn't it difficult for the management side to keep up? I mean, it's just a stereotype, but many rural companies aren't exactly tech savvy, are they?
That's true, especially if the business owner is, well, older. That might become a bit of a barrier. Yep.
That's right.
In the end, my own IT skills were originally quite low, and they still are. But among the tools I mentioned earlier, well, I mostly only use Chatwork. It was only about 6 months or a year ago that I finally learned how to generate a Zoom URL myself. Basically, I only use Chatwork, and other than that, it's really just that the remote staff are managing things well, or rather,
Yeah.
if you currently have office staff members who physically come into work and can use these tools even slightly, even a little bit, then I don't think it'll be a problem.
What's the biggest hurdle to implementation? Is it a matter of money?
It's about how you go about recruiting and how you handle the process up to hiring. There are companies and even farmers who are recruiting remote staff like this.
Oh, is that so?
Yes, it is. The act of recruiting itself really isn't all that difficult anymore. Whether it's the interview method being used or the way in which people acquire skills, I honestly believe it's quite doable, even without our own specific know-how.
So it feels like there aren't any particular hurdles then?
I think you could look at it that way. If you approach it like training a regular employee, with that mindset, there isn't much of a difference.
Right. This way of working seems especially recommended for people who have reasons they can't leave the house, right?
Yes, certainly, of course, absolutely. We've had applications from men who can work completely full-time as well, and the same goes for women. Well, as part of our selection criteria, we do give assignments that test their IT skills. Everyone's typing speed is quite fast after all. I think it's best to set standards and create a filter from recruitment to hiring.
I see.
But really, there are such a wide variety of diverse ways to work now these days. For example, many people are moving to the countryside, wanting to live somewhere warm or just wanting to get away from the city. As long as there is a stable internet connection, work is possible from virtually anywhere. So I think you can really hire all sorts of people.
Yeah. Is that all for today?
I suppose so. It might not have been very easy to understand though.
If you have any questions, please leave a comment.
Right, either leave a comment or use the email address on our website to inquire. It would be helpful if you could avoid calling as much as possible, as it interferes with my main business.
Okay, understood.
Thank you for today.
Thank you very much.
At Ohe.horseline, we are recruiting drivers. Please check out the recruitment site or our corporate site linked in the description. If you're interested, please do apply. We look forward to it.